5177. Imagine living in a society or a community that has deep rooted, um, long time families that become lawyers, that become police officers, that become sheriffs, that put them that have been placed in these positions. And from a strategic standpoint, if they want to cover something, it's no problem. They just scratch one another's back. Notice in the beginning of the sentence, I said, imagine. Do these places exist? Well, I believe they do, for sure. Imagine you are a prosecutor, law director. Let's stick with law director. Imagine you're a law director and you get handed a case that's labeled child abuse or disregard, endangering. Then it was denoted to abuse, and you get it, and for some reason you can't make the decision yourself, and you state that you're sending it to another prosecutor for review. But within this case, there is the most overwhelming evidence ever needed for just about any type of domestic charge, menacing. There's all kinds of things that could be charged, but you get it back from the prosecutor above yourself or to whom you've sent it to, and there's no well, I'll get to that in a minute. But then you get it back, and you send it back to the arresting or the officers who put it together, and state not sufficient for a charge. So, but now let's jump forward. Imagine now that you're this person, and you're just intrigued about the entire proceeding. You're just intrigued. You're just kind of blown away, and you want to see documentation on this stuff. And then in this imaginary world, you would go requesting, most things that should most definitely exist, like communications between the both prosecutors. They would have discussed something so serious as child abuse. You would think. Then there would be a couple of rather extensive or dual planned or dual created or composed declination letter, very, very in depth and very articulated. Doesn't exist. Nowhere. None of this stuff exists. Can't be found. And you're like, wait a minute. But then you hear from the office of the other reviewer, from the now individual, that, well, gee, that person never reviewed shit. And like, wait a minute. So this person just lied on several occasions, said that no, I'm going to leave that alone. But then just a simple not sufficient charge. Nothing for the abused children's parents. No explanation as to why. All the evidence that led to all the evidence that most every human being, when they see this, and they're going to, if you imaginary fucknuts out there are listening to this, they're going to, it's coming to you imaginary fucknuts. If you're imaginary, you may or may not exist, but we'll see. Yeah. So there's this in this imaginary world, this mother is very intrigued, and then comes to find out there's not a single trace of any investigation, any communications, any declination letters, any nothing. There's nothing. So essentially, what it appears to be on the face is this guy just grabbed it and said, who is this person again? Oh, wait. I I know their attorney. In fact, they're all over my social media saying how much they love me and my daddy. Hmm. Oh wait, they're about to go into a child custody hearing. Hmm. Probably wouldn't look too good going into a child custody hearing being charged with domestic violence or worse, felony endangering. Uh, and can't have that. But then you find out, well, hey, that person's good buddy probably made a six-figure income off this person who had allegedly abused. And of course, we're still in imagination land here. Yeah. But then you find out there's so many things that in this build up, in this excuse me. Then you find out that there's so many things that didn't take place. Uh-oh. There's some things that should have happened that didn't. Uh-oh. But then you find out, there was lots of lies told in this custody hearing. But then you find out that this original abuser, there was more instances. So I mean, I don't know, but I mean, okay, let's imagine we live in the same county, but we're on a different street. So imagine, there's hey, one of the officials, family members is facing some serious abuse charges, and it's medical records. I mean, the works. And then, but that thing's sitting dormant for over a year or damn near a year. Why? What's the holdup? Is it because it's the family member of an official? Do we treat the people on Walnut Street with the same regard? Hey, you know what? Kick back for a year, take a vacation, do whatever you got to do. We'll figure this out for you. Or is it, or are they planning some type of, hey, we got to get rid of this? Come on, this is a little much, guys. Come on, I've been doing so much for the community. So are we really living in a fucking society that, depending on who you are and who you know, that you could beat a fucking child and get away with it, you sick motherfuckers? Is that the society that we live in today? Is it really? Because you know what? We're out of imaginary land. If you can't tell, we're not there anymore. I popped out of that fucking bubble. So I want you people out there to think about this, because I'm going to be showing you some shit over the next couple of months. That's gonna take you next level. Fucking like, wow. I'm doing some research. Because as you may or may not know, that people come to me for help, and I like to help. I do. Some people just have no idea what resources. Hey, where to go. Hey, 3 times today I said, hey Tony. They said, hey Tony, where's a good attorney? I said, well, I wouldn't start here. Just wouldn't. My opinion, simply wouldn't. And I think people are catching on now, and they're seeing, what's taking place in council meetings, what's taking place online, and they're seeing facts, and they're like, have these people really created a fucking society for themselves and a monetary means, and are they making up the listen, ladies and gentlemen? I talked to 3 attorneys outside deep Cincinnati. They know about this place. Two said they would never come here to represent anyone. Never. Is that the reputation that this fucking county has, and why? Well, let's see. Who's been on the bench now for 40 fucking years? And that's the reputation, kangaroo court. Ladies and gentlemen who work over at that facility and who work at, are you happy with that label? People looking at it, I mean, it seems, oh, we've heard all about that corruption. We've heard all about that. And well, I went there once. I'd never go back again. Well, don't ever ask yourself why. But you can't be that fucking jacked up forever. You just can't, especially without getting noticed. And you can't fuck people so much and expect you're going to get away with it forever either. Technology is I'm a huge fan of it. Huge fan. You can't imagine what technology can do. What you wouldn't imagine. I mean, you can. I would suggest if you haven't watched Snowden, imagine having that type of technology, or imagine having resources that have that technology, and the information that could be gained. Wow. So, I mean, I am ashamed. I'm ashamed at it's not the people that live in this community, because they've seen it for a long time, and a lot of them just can't. A lot of them have escaped. A lot of them have fled this place, and they're so happy, and I can't tell you that I'm not going to be. I think God has me planted here. Never in a million years would I ever imagine meeting somebody like Daryl Petrie. Never. I mean, I mean, I never would. I mean, but God put two people together and they're like, hey, wait a minute, you know what? Yeah. Hey, that guy had fucking 2 trucks stolen from him. You think he's got a right to be pissed? He had a fucking a drill that was lots of tools that was stolen. Sheriff's department calls him up, say, hey, we got your drill. Here's a picture of it. He gets out there and it's fucking gone. Out of evidence. Speaking of evidence, now, you know what? I'm not going to touch on that yet. Not going to touch on that yet. But how safe is our evidence anymore? How does shit come up missing? Or is it stolen? Or is it acquired? I lost track there. Back on the child abuse piece. So I'm looking into cases reported, substantiated, prosecuted versus not prosecuted. I'm going to get those numbers, and because two of the 3 individuals, I'm not going to name names yet, but I'm telling you one that's watching this. I'm gonna, just because at some point, if you were to see these one of 2 of these cases, and then find out that one of them got on the day of court and everything was just dropped, just gone. Okay, dismissed. So, is our prosecutors weak? Prosecutor? I'm not gonna throw them all in the bag. I don't know if there's 1 or 2 or 3 that prosecutes that, but I got to tell you, if I were that person or those people, I'm digging, and I know people too. I mean, do you think I hold my hat out in the fucking wind and get the information I've gotten you all know is true? No, there's people within this community and within the confines of your very fucking operation who hate your guts because of what you do and how you do it. People are getting sick of you. The day of because of what your last name is, nobody gives a fuck anymore. Nobody cares. Because right's right and wrong's wrong. And when you take it to the level of fucking allowing children to be abused to line the fucking pockets of dirty ass fucking lawyers, well, fuck you. You're going to get what you deserve. And I hope it's a 10 by 10 with a metal fucking toilet. Or a hole in the floor where you have to squat over and piss or shit. Whatever. I hope that's what you get. Because if you think, oh, the kids will get over it, they'll get over it. They'll forget about it when in time. No, motherfucker, they won't. They won't. They fucking won't. That's a scar you're going to live with for life. Let me assure you that. Let me fucking assure you of that. So, moving right along. Do I think that I'm on the? Yeah, I do. I do. I do. Because I I mean it's like just to know. And any of you motherfuckers out there that are friends with these fucking people and you condone this shit, well, fuck you too. Approach me, talk to me about it. You're okay with this? You're okay with with lawyers lining their pockets and reframing evidence or not really looking at something and while little bitty fucking kids are getting abused, you motherfuckers. You're okay with that? Like I said, well, fuck you too. So anyway, uh, I have a good shovel. So when I dig, I'm going to dig and I'm going to dig and I'm going to dig. I'm going to get so much information, and once I get it all, and I put it all together, and I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait. 3,000 reports. I'm just throwing numbers out there. 3,000 reports and what 4 or 5 convictions. You know, if it's hugely skewed or skewed numbers, I'm gonna lose my shit because there are children now crying through me. There are children now that have aged out that are coming to me with stories that are fucking mind blowing. So, ladies and gentlemen of our local protective services, if you know who these people are and you're sick and tired, I would do these little things called complaints and say, we have a problem with this. I would, because I know that there is probably a good bit of a good group of people at our CPS, but I know there's a couple of shit bags that make it just horrible and bad for everyone else. And that's how it normally happens. You know, you could be, the superstar, entity. All it takes is one shit bag to ruin it all. So strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on a mission, and from time to time I'll report back with you and show you what I've got, and yeah. So I do still have a feeling. I mean, do I think I also was told a little story about from a little birdie that one day that there was some people over at the courthouse destroying evidence that was far too soon to be destroyed. They went down in the basement and they got on the little shack on wood on wood skids, and they went in there and they picked out this, they picked out that, they picked out this, and then they took it and destroyed it. But some of the shit got looked through. Maybe pictures were taken. Maybe this person felt a little bad about, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right. Why do I feel wrong for doing this? And it just so happens that maybe some of those pictures that they took, some of that shit should have been kept for a long, long time. Who knows? But this I know. For an individual to not even pretty much not even look at a pretty severe case. Is it the worst? No. I mean, did everybody live? Yes. Is it abuse? Absolutely. Did it happen again? Yep. Again after that? Yep. Has sheriff's been out there? Yep. So what happens is when these people get empowered, they continue doing what they're doing until you put the brakes on their fucking ass. And I have a feeling, don't know why, got a feeling that somebody's going to be pulling some brakes. Because you're not going to take a mother's children illegally, and especially when in some of the research and some of the interviews that I've done, I find out that abuser's attorney really never liked mom to begin with. And then one of the people supervisors at CPS really never liked mom anyway either. So is there some personal vendetta shit going on there while children are being abused too? Some of that small town fucking hokey dunk shit. Well, I don't give a fuck what geographical location it is. Child abuse, motherfucker. And guess what? Don't be the one covering for it. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. I wouldn't, because again, I'm coming cock locked and ready to rock, motherfucker. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Sergeant Thomas just turned the fucking gas up. May not mean shit to you, but I promise you, if you're one of the people that's getting, well, you'll see. Yeah. So it's coming. And I got a feeling, there's something that really pisses me off. I think, these people who do the wrong should be the ones that pay out of their own pockets. No insurance companies covering their asses. And I've said this before. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I did this because to make a statement and what they did to me. But I swear to you, I felt fucking horrible. I did for collecting from an insurance company who covers shitbags, complete shitbags, absolute, positively, total fucking shitbags. That they should have gone out and mortgaged their fucking houses and had to pay us. Not an insurance company. No, I mean, people say, "Oh, taxpayers paying that." Well, no, not really, because the city has to pay an insurance company. Well, yeah, essentially, yeah, it would be, but their insurance probably went up $5 a month, or some of them may have lost the ability to even have insurance. So, but then what pisses me off is that entire room full of council members who were oath takers. What happened to them? They should have been removed. They should have been fucking removed. Nothing. But some of their faces, they got made famous. Some of them ended up on the news on the East Coast, West Coast. I mean, all kinds of coast, as they should have been. And I will tell you, 75, 80% of the people that saw that said it was planned. So they planned to remove us from our constitutional right. They planned that shit. Why? Why the fuck would you do that? Because you don't like the fucking message. You don't like what's being said, because guess what? It's so factual, and it's spreading, and it goes on permanent record. Ta-da. So, yeah. I don't know if I was involved in that in any way, shape, or form on the dirty side. I promise you, it's that mom, when she's done with the fraud that you guys allowed to come and aid and taking her children outside, legalities of the state of Ohio. When she's done with that fucking psycho up in New York, I bet you she's coming for you. And you're going to be name by name, and they're going to have to answer some questions. I could not fucking imagine being named a defendant and having to go before federal fucking court and say, I used discretion after viewing medical reports, have witness statements, had an audio and video of the incident, seen pictures of the injuries, had a very a sworn officer articulated the case for me, hand fed it to me, and I used discretion to not charge a single thing. But then you go back on social media, and I'll follow the screenshots I took. You go back on social media and you just take a look and say, "Hey, these guys are like really kind. Oh, I love the Ruddicks. Oh, I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them." Well, good. Good. I mean, good. I bet you do. But anyway, I would hate to go before a court and have to explain that as a fucking licensed attorney. I could not imagine. But then you go even further and say, wait a minute, there's no explanation to this mother as to why you concluded what you concluded. Yeah, go ahead and try to draft one of those motherfuckers right now, especially after being told it doesn't exist. Ta-da! Thank you, Mr. New Prosecutor. Hey, you're redeeming yourself. Good boy. Good to fucking go. Get back on the good team. So, yeah. I would, yeah. And see, hey, that's just one case. You know, there's a few cases out there that are silently in the realms of I would hate to be any dirty ass city official between that's worked here in the past 20 years. I'd hate to be you. I'd fucking hate to be you. Because I just would. I mean, I've preached and preached how a RICO has not. I've been preaching this for 3 years now. Just because based off the shit that I've seen, and how it hasn't been, that hammer hasn't been dropped yet. I don't know. But there again, when a federal agent sits in your house for 2 or 3 hours and has conversations with you, like Mr. Petrie, and taking information and tagged on about 3,000 emails, and then all kinds of other federal agents tagged on, there's going to be some attention, and then you've got a pretty damn well respected lawyer stating to a federal judge during some of these one of these hearings, saying, "Hey, you know what? I've read some of their information, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong, and we're not." Again, from Casey, to these children being abused, to Andy Napier, to the gentleman that shot himself on the courthouse steps. So I have I'm just going to give you a little inkling on that case. Shelton Carpenter, God rest his soul. I pray for the family that would that happen. But when I read, so I know weapons. I know weapons. I know ballistics. I'm no expert, but so I bet you everybody knows this. Okay, so if I were to get shot in the head right here, which wound would be the largest? The entrance or the exit? Which hole would be the largest? Entrance or the exit? Please somebody comment. Please somebody answer me. Which hole would be the biggest? Entrance wound or exit? So in that man's report, they state the entrance wound is the largest and the exit is the smallest. Embarrassment. I just, but that's just the beginning there. I mean, there's a lot of, there's a lot of stuff that's been gathered that you don't always see in the citizens arrest group, and you're not ever going to see it, for valid reasons. And there's lots of stuff going on behind the scenes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yep. So that's all I got. Oh, by the way, got an email, interesting email on the investigation. Well, I didn't even know there was an investigation. I submitted a complaint one time, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It seems the information I submitted is warranting further investigation. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. And it's concerning what? First National Bank and a judge and a couple of shitbag lawyers. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not, hey, guys, again, I mean, you're talking, look up the term RICO, look at what it means, and then you go from the deaths, the abused children, the illegally taking of properties, mine included, except mine was fucked up, and you'll all see that. It's you're all going to see it one day. There's a reason people fight, and there's a reason, and I don't know why everybody doesn't, but a lot of it I think is fear. They don't want to, and small communities like this. Well, I know his aunt's uncle's sister's brother, and we're gonna go talk to their boss. Oh, he works for that mother. Hey, I will take care of him. That's the reputation this fucking community has. I mean, I've been told in a grocery store, Tony, I'm surprised they haven't followed you out in the woods somewhere and buried your ass. Well, who knows? Maybe it will happen tomorrow. I don't know, but boy, how would that make somebody look? We all got to go someday, babies. I'd rather go that way than sitting in a fucking hospital with IVs in my arms and a fucking diaper in my fucking ass. Fuck that. So, yeah, this beautiful records. They're the best you ever seen. Beautiful. Our records are the best you've ever seen. The guy's so dramatic, man. Anyway, Semper Fi. God bless. Pray for your community. Pray for your leaders. Pray for your leaders to be touched by the hand of God, to follow the light, stay in the light, and do the right thing. By the way, Mr. Scheidecker says he is going to. Got this in an email shared that he is going to. Our Clinton County prosecutor is going to. He thinks it's best that the FBI gets involved. Me, Matt, I think DOJ. Just my opinion. Or a out of state investigating agency, something that I would all the things you see in the news about the FBI, you're just kind of scared. I mean it's okay. Did they really do what all these news channels are saying they do? Are they really that fucking corrupt? And it just kind of spooks you off. But the pace that this is growing, folks. Again, there was a documentary on in the fucking UK. So this isn't going away. This is going to get huge, and your names are going to be tattooed all over it. One day, Mr. Estes, you're going to have a news. Hey, what the fuck is this? One day, Mr. Riley, they're going to, wait a minute. These people failed polygraphs. You lied to the fucking family and stopped questioning them? What the fuck is that? And you're like, well, gee, she was standing on some rocks. I got the rocks. I gave them to the family and said she wasn't standing on shit. She was face down, you stupid motherfucker. Goodbye. I got to get myself all worked up here. Take care, ladies and gentlemen.